Hi everyone, today I'm going to do a short video showing you how to replace the airbox filter for your engine on a 2014 GMC Sierra. Now before you start digging around in here, I just recommend you pull off your negative battery cable. I've already got mine loosened just because there is a sensor right here and it's a good idea to disconnect your negative battery so you don't spark something just by unplugging. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this sensor as well. Just makes things a little bit easier to get to. So there's a red tab on here and then just basically pops right off. Super easy. And I do have an aftermarket intake tube on here. There's just hose clamps holding it to the top of the airbox. Mine's an 8mm. Yours will probably be similar. Just go ahead and loosen your clamps. And then on top of the airbox itself, there are 4 screws. Here, 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 and here. I've already got mine sort of loosened up. The hardest ones, I'm going to say, are the 2 back ones, because it's kind of hard to see, but the one down here is right next to a line for your air conditioner, which is this line I'm tapping right now. And then the other one over here, also another line for the heater or something, gets kind of in the way. You can move the airbox a little bit like this to get your screwdriver, nut driver, whatever you're using. You can use a Phillips, or it is an 8mm hex head to kind of get to where you need to go. So you just have to play with it. It's not super difficult, but you gotta play with it. So I figured I'd point those things out. You can do these by hand. I just was using that to get a little extra leverage. And then once you got that out, hold your screws off to the side. And then, like I said, this one, when it's on top of the nut, it's hitting that line. So you gotta kind of just move the box out of the way a little bit, and you can get your hex head on there. And then you can work off the rest by hand. This one is by far the most difficult. You have to push, I'd say push the airbox back and get your hex head in there and twist it by hand like so until you can get it far enough off where you can work it by hand. And then you gotta get in there just like that. So once you do that, you can go ahead and remove your intake from the intake tube that you have, and then also remove the top of the airbox. You're just gonna have to kind of shimmy things around. You can see it comes loose. There is the connector does have a pin that kind of clips on to the airbox. You can just unpin it and pull it out of the way, and then that comes free, and there's your airbox. Now be very careful, because there's that sensor down inside the end of the intake box. You want to keep that clean. Don't touch it, don't smear it up, don't get oil on it or anything. And then it's very straightforward. Your airbox is just going to come through just like this, and you can see mine is wet. That's not good. Actually, it's just discolored, but the inside of my airbox, you can see, is wet. I must have been driving in the rain recently. But this is my filter after 25,000 miles. It's not terribly dirty, but obviously you see this discoloration here and a lot of, I don't know, junk in the filter. I'm just going to go ahead and replace it anyways. The new one. And I'll post the part numbers for the OEM air filters. There are a multitude of ones out there. I'm gonna go ahead and actually clean off the inside of my airbox. It even is wet in here, look at this. So after taking a little break here, I cleaned out my airbox and I cleaned out my intake tube just because I had a lot of blow-by in there that I was showing you earlier. I'm investing in a cleanside separator kit for the valve covers that'll keep that oil out. But let's finish the intake first. So I got this back into place. There's just a couple of snaps. It snaps into the tray. And here's my new filter, and it'll just sit right in there, just like that. And then you put your cover back on top just like you took it off. Hit up all 4 of your bolts.
And I'll start it first.
You don't need to crank these down super tight. It's just plastic going, metal screws going into plastic. So if you go too much, you're gonna strip them out. So, you know, be gentle. And I got the last one, the toughest one. And there goes my screwdriver. You get the idea. Connect back all your hoses, and you're done. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you like this, and subscribe. See you later.